Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Patreon Page by Page Chapter 11 Breakdown. I'm Kuro the Artist, and I am here with.
It's a me, OR Ash.
Yes,
Hello.
voiced by Chris Pratt.
Fuck. Why did I do that to myself?
So, we're just going to go through the chapter, just, say whatever comes to mind, different thoughts on drawing, what we were thinking of when we put this scene together and whatnot. Um, and yeah, I guess we'll just jump in. I made this cover, and I actually felt like I did a decent amount of shading on all these faces, but I really like the overlay effect of all the glass on top, so I lost a bit of detail there. But I still like how this came out.
This is honestly one of my favorite covers you've done.
Thank you.
Like it's so cool looking.
I kind of agree. I think this is in my top three covers.
Mm.
Alrighty, so let's start with page one. So, yeah, like I said on the public stream, drawing the Fenton Tower took forever. Um, just because, being very exact with all of it, it's like stylized, but it's still
In
pretty
universe.
intricate. Yeah, in universe, we got all of this, then all the back buildings. But we pan down, there's Noxie. Little Easter egg right here that's almost impossible to see. His arm actually says Noxie on it, like a tattoo.
Oh God, I didn't even notice that.
Yep, there it is.
That's awesome.
And just to let y'all know, even usually we do keep Patreon information like exclusive and stuff, but if we mention something here and it's like a neat Easter egg and you want to share it with people, you're free to. Just because it is just 5YL Chapter 11, everyone has access to it. I just figure
Mhm.
this little personal experience is a pretty fun reward in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's Kitty. How'd you feel when designing her? Because you did the designs for them. I just threw them in here.
Admittedly, Kitty, I was having a little bit of trouble with just because like her original look isn't bad, but I hated trying to draw her hair how they had it before. Um, so like I tried to go for more of like the kind of like rocker mom look to her, if that makes sense. Like with the pushed back hair and everything like that. I had a lot of fun designing both Kitty and Johnny for this chapter.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Johnny is there.
yeah.
Here, let
I
me
was really
just.
excited whenever you said I could do it for this chapter because we need people loading stuff in the truck.
There we go. Here's Kitty's
Oh
original
God,
hair.
that hair. That that Muppet hair. God, it doesn't look bad. It's just really hard for me to draw for some reason.
I kind of like your version, anyways.
Thank you.
Then we got
And
Johnny over here.
well, I was gonna say fun fact with with Kitty real
Oh
quick
yeah,
though.
yeah.
If you read it in the concept art, you'll see it. But the headband she has on is actually one of Jazz's because like since ghosts are like a normal thing now, and Johnny and Kitty are trying to just kind of lead normal lives, she's like made up with Jazz, um, from like trying to possess her body and everything back in the show. But her and Jazz are like really good friends now. Like she has on one of her headbands. I even drew like a little like Instagram post picture with her and Jazz just messing around
Oh yeah,
on the concept art as well.
that is indeed there. Oh, and they got Chinese food.
Yeah,
It's the perfect thanks for helping me out reward meal. I always like buy Chinese food or pizza or something for my friends when they help me.
it's good.
And yeah, Johnny's over here with Shadow.
Yeah, Johnny just chilling.
Yep.
Johnny was really fun to design. I don't know why. I wanted to make him very like Shaggy meets Chester McBadbat kind of.
I love the highlights in the hair. That's pretty great.
Thank
And
you.
then yeah, you have Danny and Sam over here. So I had a
Mhm.
lot of problems drawing this coat. I actually had Yvonne put on a winter coat and act out this scene, and I took pictures of it, so I can know how to draw this freaking coat. Because I don't know why it was just giving me problems. Oh, I had her be Danny too. I also I have a jacket like this with a scarf. Um,
You heard it here first. Danny and Sam are played by the same person.
yeah, are played by Yvonne. Um, so here we go, page two. You can see Noxie's footsteps. I love all the little details I put in here just to toot
Hmm.
my own horn for a bit.
It does look real
Walking up,
good.
putting down a box, and then just to get rid of her, Kitty's floating off. She's gonna go check on Johnny.
Fly.
Maybe take a hit of that devil's lettuce.
It
Um,
hits ghosts differently.
yep. And yeah, this Dead Have Lives logo. You did a couple of passes on it, didn't you?
I did like two on Johnny and Kitty's concept art.
Oh right.
Originally, it was just a straight up coffin with a ghost jumping out of it. Um, but I like what you did with it a lot more with the like making the coffin an H and stuff like that. I think that looks really good.
Thank you. Oh yeah, and all the characters have like a misty effect on top of them, like snow. And then I drew all these snowflakes because, like, it's snowing, so they're getting snowed on. That's just a
You
little detail I
meticulous
like.
man.
I am. It's all about the little things, and these buildings too. Like, just a lot of it gets cut out with all the, like the atmosphere and whatnot,
Mhm.
but you still have to draw it. Uh, Not much to say about this page, honestly. I like how this hand came out. It's a good
I
hand.
love the background you have for Sam in that laughing panel. Like
Oh,
that
thank
purple to
you.
orange is very warm. It seems like such a nice moment.
Thank you. Since this is part of the nightmare sequence, the audience just doesn't know it when first reading it. They
Mhm.
just see it as a first straight up flashback. So I felt like, added this kind of background, added like the hazy, like subliminal emotions on, because this is Danny's memory. So for all we know, he could be remembering this wrong.
Sam
Um,
actually flipped him off in the scene.
yeah, Sam actually was just like, "Well, good luck,
Broke
dude,"
up with
and
him.
freaking left. um, I just like this page. Not much to say here. It's just more drawing. I normally don't like drawing in this art style. I call it the wiki art style now, but I've gotten very used to it, and I feel like the Danny Phantom characters actually look better with this kind of art style, and the Ben 10
Yeah,
characters look better in the newer one. So I like that I got to use both of them for this one.
such a
Um,
nice little panel.
yeah,
Ah,
pretty good panel. And yeah, oh, Sam also has gauges, because gotta keep the edge. She's
yeah,
more she's more of just like, modern casual edgy now. Being goth back then and being goth today. Goth has definitely turned into an aesthetic now. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people living the lifestyle anymore.
nah.
At least not as much as there used to be. So here we go, the frickin' temporal zone. So tell me about all these floating stuff here and what that whole process was like.
So I remember you saying that I could do literally and like because it's supposed to be that Big Ben is chomping down all these materials and turning them into energy for an attack. You said that I could do pretty much whatever, and I remember in that call, it was like 7 in the morning, and my brain was still waking up. You were like, "You can do whatever you want for it," and I just out of nowhere said, "I want to make some jelly." So So one of the things, at least, I made like just a giant glob of random jelly. The other one, it's jelly as well, but it's crystallized. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just kind of is supposed to be random stuff in the temporal zone. I have to say though, with it's probably better looking in other panels, but the way you blend the background in this panel specifically, I am astounded by it because I watched you blend it together. There are so many little bit things throughout this entire panel, and you just blend it together so well that it just is one giant cohesive background.
Thank you. It's
And
true
it's
teamwork.
crazy. It's crazy.
There's the little. So I will admit, this is one of the last pages I finished, and I was
Mm.
really burnt out. So this is literally a reused asset from chapter 10. I didn't redraw them. I'm sorry,
Hold it.
but this is literally the same Danny Divinity Portaler and Future Fenton from chapter 10's ending. I did redraw him though. In fact, he was the first thing I ever drew for this chapter, and this
Mhm.
is technically the last thing. I just threw him in there.
Also, chat is saying you're a bit quiet, and also wow, Kuro reusing assets.
Yeah, that's what it is. Um, Yeah, Big Ben.
You like
Uh,
the shot a lot.
Thank you. Then here's Divinity himself. I just turned my gain up, by the way. Hopefully I'm louder.
That might be a bit too much, actually.
Too
Just
much.
from how I'm hearing it.
How
Sorry,
about this?
that seems fine.
Awesome. So yeah, Danny just like goes for it and says Ben could probably get us out of here because he's just guessing. So
And he guessed correct.
I was really hoping that I can illustrate this the correct way, and I feel like it's pretty clear. But when I originally boarded this, I thought it'd be complicated. So what's happening is he teleports away from his spot, teleports to Danny and grabs him, and then teleports behind Divinity. So when you see this panel, this portal is still this portal, and this portal is this portal. You're looking at the same scene from two angles to see that now he comes from behind, and now boom, there they are. And then right here in the background, you see Technus.
Popping the jelly.
Yeah, he's like, ah,
He's like, this is tasty.
I'm winding up for something. And then Divinity, I really like this eye. It's a pretty good eye. Yeah, good eye, mate.
Plus, I love the facial expressions you gave Danny and Ben in the like. It's so cool looking.
Oh yeah,
That kind of like
I was 100%
super sketched
going
out.
anime with this. I was like, this is gonna
Love
feel
it.
like one of those scenes, and I love it. Yeah, it is. It is pretty sketchy and whatnot. What was I gonna say? Oh, there's two of my favorite Easter eggs here, which I requested from you. One is the sweater from. There's this movie called The Time Traveler's Wife, and I'm just a big fan of it. And this guy, his whole life, he's involuntarily time traveling. And he can't bring his clothes with him, so he's either got to like steal clothes or rob someone. But eventually, like, he starts leaving clothes hidden around areas. And then here's the goober from Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So thanks for drawing those for me, Ash. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
I'm sorry, the Spidey symbol on it is very inaccurate.
That's totally fine. Oh, and one thing about Portaler's portals, which probably isn't clear, is the ones with dots means he's warping through dimensions, whereas the regular ones means he's just teleporting. By the way, just a little aesthetic thing. And then we get, this big mega dual blast here. And go ahead and delete some of these pages. Boom. Now this was I drew Danny Portaler this portal, and then Danny's blast and a guide for how I want Portaler's attack to look. I sent it over to Ash. He drew Portaler's attack. He sent it back to me, and then I blended it in all these sorts of ways. So this was a big team effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love how this panel turned out. It's so cool looking.
And there's the squad watching all of it go down.
It's just like, what the hell's happening over there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this attack is called the Rainbow Connection.
Oh,
Not really.
I like it.
But, like, yeah, it is. Don't put it on the wiki, though. But, I mean, you can call it that. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, put it on the wiki. I don't care. So, something happens to Divinity. Either, they hit him. Divinity could be playing them. No one knows. Point is, he disappeared. And with his absence, so does the portal go. The portal's gone.
Bink.
So they start falling. You're the one that told me to put Bink there, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, I just imagine it's just going, bing, like gone.
Mm.
And one thing that I wanted to say with this one, with them falling, because we didn't really realize it until like we were almost done with the chapter. We were like, hey, if there's like no gravity and they're in a just temporal zone, how are they falling? Shouldn't they just float like everything else? So the excuse we came up with it is that the what was it? The ground that Future Fenton like drops them on later, because that's the nearest large structure like nearest them. They get caught in its gravitational pull, and that's why they're falling. Is like it gets grabbed by its gravity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, gravity, man.
Yeah.
Then here's Technus charging up. I tried to draw the lightning different from how I do Vlad's. So this is very curvy lightning, whereas Vlad has the rigged, jagged lightning. And then, you know, Ash
He
came
got
in
a
and
little
did all the
dribble on his
goodies.
face. Like,
He did the dribbles.
yummy.
And here they're all falling. And you'll notice Crunch is the only one smart enough to actually use his comms, because they wouldn't hear them from this far away.
No.
And Crunch put that together. So these two are freaking out, and Crunch is like, all right, you know, I got this. Now Ben notices.
The
There they go. Oh no, they're falling, and you can kind of see the forest here a little bit. But what's this? So
Look
Big Ben's
out.
been charging an attack this whole thing. I love doing this little eye thing.
The energy trail off of it is
Yeah.
really cool.
Thank you. And he starts to turn blue because now he's accessing his awakening energy, which he first did in Chapter 9 when he did that triple ghost whale. And he's made a big old shield. It's a little sloppy because it was immediate. You can see his tail is coming out from being a tail. I mean, his leg is coming out from being a tail. And he's shooting. Boom. And you'll notice his nose like forms like an arrow pattern and blinks yellow instead of changing between cyan. And this is also electrically charged and whatnot. And here Vlad is giving Ben a big old hug. He's like, I'm such a big fan of yours when you do that alien thing. Nice to meet
Ben's like,
you.
no touchy! No touchy!
Yeah. You didn't pay for these autographs. Yep. So now here we go to here. Actually, were there any more Easter eggs that... No, I think
I
there's
don't think
more
in
Easter
those
eggs over
ones.
here.
Yeah.
This was the first future Fenton that I drew for this chapter. I really liked the lighting that I did because I wanted it to seem like the light was coming from here. And it does. And here, Portaler is like warping Vlad in and out of space just to try to attack him in a way. You know, he's a little turtle beetle thing. Now these lines on Danny, at first I was going to keep them there permanently, but I felt like it made his face too hard to read, and I didn't like it, so they're only here for now. It's kind of just like the stress of using his awakening energy without being used to it. And then Portaler changing. Boom.
He won't be able to take his eyes off of this.
Big man.
The
on
big boy,
campus.
the void.
There's the void. And Technus is surprised. He's like, wow!
Wowsies.
I can't
Look at
believe
that
I
guy.
really drew Big Ben this many times.
You drew him so much.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I was honestly surprised that you kept doing it. And I'm sorry. I should have simplified his design even more so.
That's okay.
Gosh.
There's something around here. Well, here you can see Future Fenton flying down to the thing. Oh, what's this? Tell us about this.
Okay, for those who watch my streams, I play Hollow Knight on stream a lot. And like one of the big story points in that game that kind of hit me emotionally recently was a thing that happens with this character, Monomon the teacher from Hollow Knight. So I wanted to put her giant like tube canister thing just hidden somewhere throughout the temporal zone. So that's what that is. That's Monomon the teacher from Hollow Knight. That's her. Yeah, exactly. In the tube and everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tubed up.
Tube.
And then there's something else here, I'm pretty sure. I think I put 2 of them. So basically what happened is Ryan drew me a ton of different assets, and then I blend them into the page panel by panel. Some of them are just random trippy void stuff, and some of them are Easter eggs. And Easter eggs I usually only put once or twice, but other stuff I reuse them when needed. This is your space
know-
whale thing. That's not really an Easter egg, but I just liked that.
Yeah, it's just it's like a whale clam or something. I don't even know really.
Yeah.
I just whenever I do the random assets, I just draw whatever is my hand makes at the time, I guess.
Thank you,
Rock
Sketchy, for
faces.
saying, I love how you draw Portaler. I'm still trying to figure out how to emote characters without a mouth. It's all in the eyes. And, like, don't just draw the eyes, draw, like, the skin folds around the eyes. Like, all of that comes into play. you know, how their eyeballs are pressing against their flesh and whatnot. It's all there. Yep. What's next?
Yeah.
This page. Oh man, so I drew this whole sequence with just the characters for the longest time. I drew these months ago, and then Ryan did the backgrounds last month, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't even know where they were. When I drew this, I originally pictured them like in a crack in some type of giant terrain, like a crevice or something.
You know, like a foxhole or whatever in war.
Yeah. Like a really tiny Grand Canyon or something. But, you know, this forest looks dope. I like this a lot. So, yeah, I would blend it in with these little grass things to let them touch the terrain. And you'll notice Gotro's suit can manipulate shape along with him because powers.
Powers. Technology.
And here, Big Ben is uppercutting the void. That was your suggestion, right?
Dude, that was because I know whenever you had asked me at one point to just come up with a bunch of like fight choreography because we were trying to figure out exactly how the visuals for them fighting would be. And this was one of the ones I came up with that I was like, dude, we have to put this in the chapter somewhere. I don't care where, but I want to see the void getting taser punched so bad. Just uppercut. You see his dark matter like all jiggling and everything because he's just getting absolutely vaulted.
Yep, because Big Ben actually is pretty powerful. You know, he's got like millions of DNA samples all blended together. And again, I tried to draw this lightning slightly different from Vlad's. Hope it worked. And then you'll see Future Fenton opens this canister and there's this little nanite here and then smaller nanites. So this is the Salazar silencer, you know, from Generator Rex. There's also Rex patterns throughout this gauntlet. And their injuries. So they all did get injured during the fight last chapter, which was technically off screen, fighting Technus on Earth when everybody else went to the temporal void. But Lula actually burned her chest during the solar flare that erupted in chapter 8. Let me bring that page up. I found it. Right here. So this solar flare, boom, cuts through the ship. Gotro's merging off of it. They're falling. Man, they're always falling. They gotta learn to fly. There's Gwendolyn's little things. Man, I forgot all about this. And then, where is it? Right here. Yeah, you can kind of see the burn. It's a lot higher in chapter 8. I kind of moved it down to the chest, but that was a total accident. I already drew it that way like 4 or 5 times before I actually noticed. So, yep. Sorry, I'm just getting up the next page now. Which is this one. Boom. So all these different Omni Chimeras exist in the future too, by the way. I just want to point that out. And yes, I realize I misspelled Chimera here. I tried to go through the entire chapter without any typos. And someone found one. So close. So close.
We'll say an alien word. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's Chimera in a different sense. It's like a species or something.
So here's a better look at the nanites that disable the Omni Chimeras. Yeah, I'm just very satisfied with how this page came out. I definitely feel like this is the best looking chapter. So here's the infamous panel where the void is flipping off Big Ben. And Danny is doing a ghost whale at Technus as Technus does a butthole attack that misses.
Why? No, it's an ear canal. Don't. How dare you?
The mega toot.
God damn you. A mega toot.
Yep. More Future Fenton. And oh, I love this part. Not quite yet, actually. I'll get there. But this is
You
a
don't
good
love it
page
yet.
too. See, I literally did this page, and I felt like there's so much dialogue on this page that it's probably gonna seep into people's minds and make it feel like a lot of the chapter has a ton of dialogue. And I feel like the chapter does have a decent amount of dialogue. But I mean, I do want to say this page is probably an outlier. But at the same time, you know, I've seen professional comics with this much dialogue, and there was a lot that need to be said. So I just went with it, you know. But I still feel like narratively it's a good scene. It'll definitely play out a lot better in the motion comic. And just give me a chance to draw the Orion Squad more. Like, I've really gotten used to their shapes and whatnot. Here's Future Fenton dramatically watching this fight more. See Danny and Vlad are clashing.
I will say, I remember getting the because whenever I would get the stuff for backgrounds and stuff,
Yep.
you give me like character art or storyboards, whatever you have done on it. I remember getting this page and like it was really hitting me with Gotro's character of him like having this freak out and everything. I was like, dude, that like I actually like I feel so bad for Gotro right now because in his head he's like, yeah, I'm just the funny blob guy. Like I don't want to die. Like
Yeah, stakes are pretty high from here, and I feel like, you know, it would be pretty unrealistic if everyone's just constantly on board for whatever's happening, you know. Generally, you know, you might freak out once you're in their situations, and Gotro's the perfect character to kind of establish that perspective. And I got to draw Doodle Ben right here. I like having a chance to like draw in like a goofier style, just because it's neat.
it was fun. I like him in the illustrated style too.
Thank you
All of
Hotline
them
too
smiling.
for adoring the Gotro expressions. He's such a fun character to draw. Alex did a great job. Yeah, right here. I love this page. You know why? Because Future Fenton takes off all of this freaking armor,
But you
so I don't have to
him.
draw it anymore. Fuck these boots. Fuck this gauntlet. Like, we don't
Chunk
need,
of the arms.
yeah,
Get him out
we
of
don't need
here.
any of that. Good riddance. So here's actually what the full Orion Knight looks like. You'll notice it looks even more like Driscoll's armor. We're saving the actual appearance for a potential future in which it would be more significant. Like, I feel like something like this we don't want to just drop. If we can find a good use for a reveal of something of this, then that would be great. But, you know, if like, you know, 5 years or something go by and nothing happens, then we'll show it. 5 years later.
Dun, dun, dun.
I always love panels where I can draw the full character too, just because you get to see all their designs.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
for this panel specifically, I kept fighting you so badly because I wanted Gotro to do that line of like, oh yeah, there's not like enough tech to work with.
Oh,
I
I
can
added
maybe
it.
manage an Orion belt. Like I fought for that line so
You
much
did.
because I was like, yeah, it's funny, it's punny, it works with the scene.
Yeah, the original way I had it set up, the dialogue didn't fit. I just had to move around the boxes. But yeah, I threw it in. And you can also see how rubbery I draw Crunch now. Like, he looked pretty flat originally. And Lula. Like, I really regret doing the dark parts of her fur just pure black. And also doing... let me just show you an example. Right here. This is from chapter 5.
Oh yeah,
You know, her
the ear
suit,
thing.
her suit doesn't go over her upper legs. They're free. Oh, looks
You
like
can't really tell.
I added things to it. Oh no, continuity. But like,
Add the retcon.
her legs are free, but you can't really tell the distinction between, like, you know, the suit texture and her legs. But here you can definitely see where the suit begins and ends. And it's just like, you know, having the advantage of those types of textures. Same with Crunch. You know, you can really see what kind of material we're going for with him. And Gotro especially. Like, all of them, you know, I feel like this art is just so much better. And I'm proud of it.
I like seeing it side by side though. It's really cool seeing the improvement over time.
Yes, indeedy.
Ah,
All right, so back to the main fight is just this, this whole page is just to like reintroduce the fight. I
mhm.
wanted to build some energy, build some tension before just going back to what the rest of the heroes are up to. So we start really closed in um, on Danny and Vlad, and as they're circling the void, it's zooming out, really giving a scale to the void. Then we pull out even more, and he's coming down on Big Ben here. I like how I did this face, man.
I didn't even
as
notice that like smirk. That's so cool.
as complicated as he was, I did eventually start enjoying drawing him. Oh, and drawing the voids back. We didn't even design that. I just winged it on this page. And then I went back and did it for the flipping off page. Those tiny voids were like the last time I drew the void.
I remember you had asked, like you drew this and you were like, "Is this okay?" Uh, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, that looks a lot better than what I would have done." Because what I would have done, I literally just would have put it as like a just a black void behind it. I wouldn't have. It's just the arms come out of nothing.
They come out of nothing. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he always just looked like a floating skull to me. Oh, you know what I actually did for one of the angles? Let me see if I could find the picture real quick. I think it was after I drew this one, but I still like needed that little extra bit of help. Um, Let me see if I could find it first. Sorry to halt the whole
You're
stream
good.
just for this.
Also, Drazen, get out of here with that Mineta crap.
Mineta.
The void is not Mineta. Stop it.
Mana.
Stop.
Man, we use this chat way too much. There's way too many pictures in here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I mean, it's fine.
We have a one of the patrons saying that it's cool that we did the Horus plushie, but they would love to see a Lula plushie.
A Lula plushie I would love to make, but I'm not sure
That
how
would be
well they would
cool.
sell. Because
That's
Makeshift did
fair.
say they're interested in working with us another time.
Yeah.
But I really want to make sure, like, if we choose something, it's gonna be like worth the effort of distribution. And if we
Big
can
Ben
market
plushie.
Lula, that would be great. I was thinking maybe either a Taurus or a Buck Wild or something.
That'd be cool.
I don't know.
We can
All
do the
right.
void. You can have those skinny arms coming off.
I can't find it right now, but
Dang.
to get a better angle for the void, one time I took a tiny plastic skull that I have, then I rolled 2 balls of purple Play-Doh and stuck them to the side, and then took a picture of it so that I can get the angle. And that's what I used as a reference for the void.
I do remember that now. You
Yeah,
sent me that, and
I
you were
wanted to
like, "Does
try to
this
find it to
work?"
show him. But yeah, so Technus is getting covered in the dark matter. And then you can see,
Arm getting.
yeah, it's getting all twisted and contorted. You can see all these swirls and whatnot. It's breaking apart. It's getting all kinds of confuzzled.
It's like,
And
owie,
yeah,
stop it.
it's already
It
starting to
hurts.
rip in half too. Um, and Technus is like, oh, what's going on over here? And as is Big Ben, this big shiny man. And Vlad's been beaming him this whole time, so he flies right by and bloop, got him, slice right through. And since it's Technus in there, I figured it would be ecto energy instead of blood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in there, and all these dots were done by yours truly.
God, what
All of them, all of them.
you madman.
And his arm is like barely even like a stable mass right now. It's just, blooping away, peeling away. Now the expression's changed to shocked, and he's like, "Oh, Maui wowie."
He's like, holy crap! Wait, what?
Yeah. Then he flies up. I can't wait to hear Jonah do all these lines.
It's gonna sound so cool.
Yep. And that's it for the void. Now it's time to turn into a different alien. So yeah, this is the panel where I originally had him talking. So he would say this dialogue, "Don't think I forgot you, Vlad," and then full stop would just say this line. So it would like connect the transformations through the dialogue. But we just couldn't go through with making the Void talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
we like the character not talking.
Yep.
Cool.
So here's Full Stop.
Such a cool
and
reveal.
he's connecting his, I call them neurons, they're not, but that's what they look like to me. His neuro trails is connecting to all of the different dark matter around it so that he can gather it all up and swing it into a big old ball. So he's got it all connected and he's like, boop. And might I say, it was so nice to finally draw Full Stop and say Full Stop. Do you know how close Flame Boy is to Full Stop? I've almost said Full Stop for fucking years.
Dude, I know.
Full Stop,
I know.
Full Stop. It feels so good. What's up?
I know. There's been a few instances where like you'd start saying it on stream, and I'd cut you off intentionally because I was like, Flame Boy or Full Stop. Don't say it.
Yeah, I can't say it.
Also, Easter egg for this page. Very top center. How in the next page you start seeing more of this like spongy surface that Full Stop and,
hang on.
Danny.
That's 2 pages after.
Well.
But I'll post it right now. We can go out of order. I mean, people have read this, so.
I didn't realize.
No, it's fine. This is the page you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We have, because it's like spongy. It's a spongy surface, so I had to make one of them just straight up SpongeBob. It's just dead SpongeBob in the temporal void. He's not ready. I'm sorry, you guys.
Not ready. It's good old SpongeBob there.
So, you just hear echoes of "I need it."
We do have this page too, where Danny continues the quip. Let's clean things up with a nice dark matter shower. Don't forget to wash behind your horns. I just wanted Danny to quip a little bit too, because he did always like make jokes and stuff when fighting his villains, and I still want to remind y'all like he's still Danny. But I just love how this page came out. I'm very cool. In love with it. And it was like my profile picture for a while. I think this was the first image I released publicly of chapter 11. I've been using it since. The trail lines on him are inspired by the lightning effects that speedsters have in the Flash in the Arrowverse. Except with fire instead of lightning. And then he smacks Vlad, and Vlad goes, "Oh, mamma mia." And so, funny thing about this. So you'll notice he's swinging from right to left, right? Like you can see, he's swinging this direction. The ball was here, and now he's right. We can see that. So when I originally drew 2 pages ago, this is an earlier version. This is so I changed a lot of things, like multi-dimensional grip on matter. I felt like that doesn't explain it much either, and it kind of sounds lame. Like I wanted them to sound like moves, like absolute grip, dimensional lock. Multi-dimensional grip on matter is boring. And plus the Void's power also used the word matter, and I didn't want to repeat words. I'm just getting that out the way. But yeah, so look, he's actually swinging
the wrong way.
He's swinging from this direction that way. So what I ended up doing was I couldn't just flip it because of the way it's shaped, or else it would be this panel as number 1 and then this panel is number 2. So I flipped each panel individually like this and did like this little angle thing. But that's totally just me making up for screwing up the direction in which he's swinging. So now it has consistency with this shape. And yeah, dude, dead SpongeBob.
I remember when you realized that you had done it the wrong direction, because we were in call when you realized that you were doing cleanup. I just remember hearing you go, "Oh my god, I'm like, what? I did it the wrong way." I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was just very disappointed in myself. But here's his big old ball of dark matter, and then Danny, shoved Vlad right in there. So another little Easter egg is you can see Gary right here. Funny thing about this Easter egg, when Ash drew it, he actually drew him right here, and I felt like it was too close. It was distracting. Like, you'd almost like be staring at it, so I moved him over here. But yeah, you can see Gary right here.
He's searching for SpongeBob.
The CW Speedster Trail comes right in.
That is burning the sponge thing he's on as well.
Yeah, that was Ash's idea. That was a really good idea to throw in. And they're looking at the antimatter prison, which outline is now turning blue instead of purple. What's up? I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Well, there's Full Stop's bodacious booty.
Ooh, that rectangular ass.
Yep. Then here they just have a nice little conversation. I rewrote this scene a lot too, just because I wasn't satisfied with the wording. Like I wanted to just get this right, you know. And here is Danny now in sort of what's reminiscent of a charged form, like his flame charged form from chapter 3, except with his awakening. It's not quite a stage 3, but it is an advancement. I think I called it what did I call it?
I'm not sure, in all honesty.
I'll look at it. I'll look it up. I called it something because I wanted to name all these forms. I called it charged.
Just charged, yeah.
It is his flame charged form, except with awakening energy instead of flame energy. All right, that makes sense. So here they come. So this panel on top, I'm not sure if y'all would recognize, but has actually been used for all the advertisements in chapter 11 ever since this image. I was very inspired by what Marvel does with like fake scenes in their trailers. So I was like, what if I took a panel and I altered it like a fake scene, so that when it's out, you can do like a comparison. And this is it. It was a fake out for Full Stop. Ben's not human form. Whenever you see Ben in human form, it's not going to happen. So yeah, we just did this. The background is different too, just because, you know, we didn't even have it ready at the time yet. But yeah, I just like how this came out. Here's you know, Vlad straight up. All these dots, by the way, just one more time for the people in the back. Every single individual dot was deliberate. Every one of them.
You're a monster.
So Vlad's swallowing this
good
energy.
Soup.
Just this goodness. And then he's like, you know, crackling like zzz, zzz. Here's Full Stop in like that cartoony style, by the way. And no, his mask can't actually emote. I just figure for this art style I can break the rules. But this is just like an exaggeration. He can't bend his mask to emote. But yeah, here's Vlad. Now his stage 2, he's got spikes. The blackness went all the way down to his arms. No, he's got no blue on him anymore. He's got, you know, horns on his fingers. He's got shoulder spikes. He's got toes instead of just, you know, a boot thing. And the symbol on his chest changed. And now instead of having full, like little medium hair follicles coming out, he's just got 2, and they're even longer. This is stage 2, Vlade.
Vlad Plasmius Dos.
Yep. So I really liked the design you made for his stage 1, and I didn't want to change it. But I did want to visually show that Vlad got stronger, so I tried to change as little as possible. So like you can tell
really
he's
like
gotten stronger. Thank you. But it's not
Plus
that different.
The chest symbol I just think is so cool looking on this one.
Oh, thank you.
I remember seeing this panel initially and I was just like, dude, this is sick.
Yeah. And then we got this. So Vlad immediately speeds at Danny. This was a reference. I took a picture of me smushing my own face to get this down. And he's blurred. Here comes Vlad, ready to sing some Christmas carols. This was hell to draw. I just want to be clear about that. I did not enjoy this at all, but I very much enjoy the result of him dramatically shoving Danny into the dark matter. He's like, I did it, and so can you. Just believe in yourself, my boy.
It's not true.
So his hand was actually positioned to draw a shield, to be blocking full stop. Because I'm always under the philosophy that characters, like I always dislike in shows or movies or anything when like characters are in the middle of like an event or a battle or something, and you need a moment for them to talk, to have a conversation, but they're not doing anything. So it's like, you know, if Danny and Ben want to talk to each other, it's not like Vlad's just gonna let them. So they have to trap Vlad in a prison for a little bit, or else why would Vlad just stop attacking them? And that's what I thought with this. I was like, why is Ben just letting Vlad grab him like that? But my excuse for it now is Vlad's just moving way too fast for Ben to react. It was instantaneous in Ben's perspective. So he just was not fast enough to do anything. But normally I do try to cover my ground with stuff like that. I will never just have villains stop attacking the heroes for no reason. As much as I can help it. Here's Danny drowning. I think this is a reference to... I wanted to actually put my head underwater, but I didn't. I just like looked at like 50 or so different air bubble images on Google and did my best to make it look like drowning.
Dude, the overlay and everything on this panel looks so cool to me.
Thank you.
Like, I remember just looking at this chapter while we were working on it. I couldn't stop looking at this page and the previous page. Like all the effects and everything you did with the dark matter just is so, like the whole swirling pool of it and everything getting swallowed up. It's so cool looking.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that all my commentary is just literally me fanboying over our own stuff, but like,
yeah, how dare you be proud of your work?
This is your work I'm proud of. Shut up.
Well, thank you. But now, boom, it's time for a dream sequence, sort of. So this isn't a straight up dream sequence, and I do have a whole philosophy for how this works, but I also do like keeping things a bit vague. You can pretty much tell what's happening here, but like at the same time, I don't want to just, you know, say this is happening because of this, because of this, because of this. But it's just kind of, you know, cycling through Danny's fears and worries and anxieties, to put it simply. So Danny, you know, he wakes and now he's fully integrated. Now he's back in his classic Danny Phantom attire. And again, I wish I did this type of texturing for his suit in comparison to the earlier chapters, just because doing the all black suit, it made him look pretty flat. And plus I wanted to have a distinct difference between the material on his suit and his hair. Now you can definitely tell they're two different things, but you know, the older art style just didn't have that benefit. Now he turns to the void. He looks and he sees a door. And all of these are real quotes from different episodes. And we sat and had each actor record their lines for this, for the motion comic. You can hear each individual isolated line, I think, as a tier 3 reward. But these are all from real episodes. Some of them are just my favorite lines. Like, I like when Vlad's like, "And I will not get a cat." I had to throw that in there.
That one.
Yeah. You know, there's just there is some goofy things in there, like Sam's comment, "Never is karma's doorbell, ding dong, it's for you." You know, just showing what's up.
Now I was gonna say I wanted to say that during the motion comic, this beginning, like the little transition you did with the screaming Danny into this part, I didn't know you were going to do that when editing it, and to let everyone know, that actually scared the hell out of me. The first time I watched the test footage for it, like you didn't have it completely all the audio blended and everything at that time.
No, I did
but
not.
But the glitch effect, the screaming and everything, I thought what you were sending me was just the first part of the chapter with him and Sam talking.
Yeah.
but then it glitched out, and I was like, "What the?" Like it actually scared the hell out of me. I saw it at like 2 in the morning. So thank you for that.
Welcome to reality. Drazen asks what happened to Vlad's cat. I actually did want to address it. Um, in chapter 4, when Technus and Vlad talked to each other, Vlad was gonna kind of like almost embarrassed, like ask Technus, like, "Did you receive my package or whatever?" Since he was gone in space, and Technus would be like, "You mean your stupid cat?" As if like Vlad asked Technus to look after his cat or something, and he didn't. But
He didn't.
yeah, but I mean, there's no way for that interaction to have happened. Like, when would Vlad have told Technus to go look after his cat? So, when Vlad was banished to space, and then the police commandeered his house, they probably took his cat and put it in a home, and now is living its best life. Lots of attention, lots of food. It's
He was the only one that
it's
liked
a
Vlad.
very, very happy cat.
That's sad. In all honesty, I always just assumed that it to put it one way, it just became a ghost cat over time.
Oh man, we should have done that, and then Vlad could have his ghost cat with him the whole time, and it's also
We
awakening with him. Damn it,
it's
dude!
never
We gotta put the cat in the recalibrated version. Just add the cat in every panel.
just somewhere in Vlad's house as a ghost,
Yeah,
like lurking. I'd be down for that.
like when he comes back, he's like, "Oh, you're still here,
Oh, the cat. Did the cat have a name? I don't even remember.
Maddie."
Oh yeah, it was just straight up
Yeah,
Maddie.
it's pretty weird.
He's like Maddie.
But here's Danny. I like drawing him in nice wear like this.
Mhm.
We got, what is this? This is the vacuum.
Oh, that's
or something?
that's the one from the Technus episode. It's the Ecto. Oh God, I know it. Give me 2 seconds. I just watched the episode like 2 days ago. Ecto Exfoliate? No,
It's the one with Valerie, right?
no, it's the Technus episode one.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
vacuum.
Well, Valerie was in a Technus episode where she gets her new suit.
I'm meaning the first Technus episode.
Oh, okay.
Because the Fenton thermos gets stuck in the end of it and it blows up, and that's how Technus gets spread across all the stuff in the lab.
Very true.
It's like Ecto. E, it's something with an E. I'm an idiot. I'll figure it out at some point. I can't remember it now though.
Okay. Well, here's Jack. There's so much to unpack here with this scene.
Mhm.
For one, I do want to say that this is to continue the joke that Jack used to put his face on everything. So I figured if Maddie makes something, she could put her face on it. She makes her own rosé blend. And yes, I realize how ridiculous it is that they're drinking it out of martini glasses. But you know what? That's just because, Jack isn't that
Jack.
experienced with drinking.
At least not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of to set up the passive bit of information from chapter 1 where it's there's kind of an implied storyline in 5YL that isn't directly said, where once ghosts become public knowledge, the government scrambles to try to get a grip on it, and they buy out Fenton Works and all of his inventions, and now Jack doesn't have a hobby anymore. So he tries to find passion in something else, which is cross-dimensional travel, which is too hard to figure out, and he gets really depressed and starts drinking a lot. So
It's kind of like how whenever they got bought out from the guys in white or whatever,
yep.
and they were trying to blow up the ghost zone.
Oh, also the fact that the guys in white exist is, I had to go back and add the word public, because the world's first public ghost hunting task force, because the world's
Yeah.
first task force was the guys in white, and I was like, well, fuck those guys.
It was like, oh yeah, those are characters.
Mm.
Didn't forget about it totally.
Yep. Also, you never actually see Jack's face in this whole sequence. I try to keep it obscured and hidden to kind of show, like, Danny may or may not be really talking to his dad. So you never actually see his face. So Danny pours himself a glass. I'm actually very proud of how this was drawn. Just shout out to me. Fools. And then this
And
beautiful...
I'm proud at how this was drawn. Shout out to me, fools.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get the
Yeah,
text
coverage.
list version so we can take a gander at this ghost.
This
zone
took
here.
me like 4.5 hours to draw, I think. Because I was doing this like as the giant size as well, so Media Bang was not being the most cooperative at the time.
Oh yeah, these pages, chapter 11 is drawn on canvases like literally twice as large as the other pages for maximum detail, but they're also huge freaking files.
Yeah, dude, oh
Like
gosh.
these files are gigantic.
Like
Look at
I
this.
usually draw on 4,000 by 4,000 in Media Bang, and like that's already really big for Media Bang. The max size that Media Bang can go, I was having to draw on for this chapter, which was 20,000 by 20,000. So it's literally 5 times larger than the largest canvas I use. So it took like 4.5 hours to do this ghost zone shot. Each section of it is on a completely separate layer because I wanted to make sure I could actually shade each of an individual part to make it look as though it is getting deeper and deeper. Um,
Tell us about these doors.
yeah, so the doors, at least these doors right here, are references I was talking about on the other stream. So here you have, oh God, I actually don't remember what the two on the left are. The two on the right, however, are SpongeBob's front door and the door of creation from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and those are the only ones I remember what they were supposed to be. The other ones, I want to say like the far left one might be the door to the Sanderson sisters' hut from Hocus Pocus. I don't remember for sure
I
though.
think I remember you saying something like that.
Yeah.
But nice
And
doors.
then
Oh, what is this one? Is this anything?
that's just a metal door. I wanted to add a variety of doors because you only ever see just like basic doors throughout the. Oh wait, I remember the middle one on that island is meant to mimic Boo's door from Monsters Inc. Just because it's a very similar concept.
Right here?
I forgot to add the flowers though, and that's what messed me up.
Flowers.
Flowers. But the reason these four doors are like huddled around an island is because I imagine over time in the ghost zone with humans going in there more, they like try to keep a hold on ghosts and stuff. So like with these doors particularly, they pulled them over to an island so they can monitor the ghosts behind them specifically or whatever to like keep track of ghosts, I guess, so they can feel like they have some sense of control. But yeah,
I was yawning. Sorry. You ever
you're
get
good.
caught in like a yawn that doesn't seem to end?
Yeah, I've been getting a bunch of those this whole stream. I keep muting my mic so I don't accidentally yawn directly into it.
So yeah, again, you never see Jack's, you never see his face,
Never, ever.
and I feel like I wanted to draw something like floating inside of here, but I thought it would be too distracting. But I was gonna do like,
Danny's in there.
yeah, something, and do a big old hug. And this type of background is very reminiscent of chapter one. I
Mhm.
wanted to do something like that again since this is supposed to be like flashback.
I liked it. It's
Thank you.
nice.
And then still not seeing Jack's face. And then he brings up Vlad because up until the finale, Jack gave Vlad so many passes on a whole lot of really like unacceptable things. I
Mhm.
guess he's just, I want to say good natured, but he's also not the brightest person, at least socially.
I
Um,
mean, even whenever they were both going to space, like Jack seemed like he was still trying to give Vlad a chance whenever they were talking, kind of. But then Vlad slapped that away too.
yep, yep. So here you finally see Jack turn, and lo and behold, something weird's going on here. So
Toasty.
you can see all the concept art on our website, but yeah, Ryan did so many versions of this. I
Ah,
love this, and then I drew mine second so I can make it look like mine's growing into his. But this is wonderful.
it just oh God, like it took so long. All everything I drew for this chapter took so long. But like finishing this one, putting all the detail, which by the way, with those dots on the tongue, I did those myself.
You did all those
Um,
dots.
yes,
Damn, dude, that's nice.
thank you. Um, but yeah, no, just the amount of detail putting into this, and the fact. I had so much fun drawing this, and like, I don't know. I'm
I
very
love
happy
the
with how it
veins
turned
right
out.
here.
Thank you. I wanted to make this thing like super creepily detailed because typically whenever I do stuff, whether it be backgrounds or aliens, I have to follow some kind of suit to it. But with this, you legit were just like, here's a basic guideline, just make it grotesque, scary, and like
Yeah.
I had so much fun with it. And a detail as well with this, at least what I tried to portray with how he's transforming. And you can probably see it more in the concept art relative to this shot. If on the left he's like all melting and everything, and then the Vlad bits are coming up on the right, and he has the two different eyes. The way I imagined it, at least in some other context, if Vlad was actually doing this, was that Vlad was overshadowing Jack, but the way he's overshadowing Jack, it's like so powerful, it's actually killing Jack, turning him into a ghost and destroying the ghost version of him and replacing it with Vlad. It was my thought behind it. Like that's why he's all melting and everything.
Beautiful. That's beautifully horrifying.
Thank you. I'm sadistic.
Next page. So we got this as we transform into. There's technically 4 art styles. There's the regular one, then there's the regular 2, I guess, the chapter 1 through 8, and then chapter 9 forward. Then there's Ryan's art style, which gets thrown in like the Ghost Zone and Monster Jack here. And then there's this one, which I developed just for this nightmare sequence. It's just a bit sketchier. It's not too different from the other ones. It's just I draw a lot sketchier, looser. The outlines are green. Everything has this glow. So, Vlad crashes through the floor, and you can see Danny change into his tuxedo wear. Sam is wearing a white version of the dress she wore in Beauty Marked. What was it?
Which one? The
one,
first Dragon episode or the second one?
The second one. No, the first one. The first one.
I think that's Save the Last Dance?
That's Ben 10.
Are you sure that's not a Danny Phantom
Positive.
title?
That's one of my
Damn
favorite
it.
Ben 10 episodes. It's this
Oh my
dress.
god. I just watched it. It's the
See, it's just because I figured, Danny hasn't seen Sam in a wedding dress before, so this is just what his mind puts together. I did, on the concept art, you can see I did originally add a veil, but I just think it looks better without it. And Lancer's the officiate, just because I wanted to throw Lancer in here, just because why not? And then, all these clouds are just opacity dots. And I drew all these dots, Ryan. I drew all these dots.
Oh, but the dots.
The dots.
There's too many dots, Rob.
She's got black roses because goth.
Oh, one detail that's from just a quick from the last page that I forgot. And I remembered it because Drazen made a joke in the chat here saying, look, it's Jack Plasmius from the time travel episode. That was the idea that Rob approached me with initially, was like, he's turning into an evil Vlad. Let's kind of mimic what they did in that episode.
Yes.
At least I remember you telling me that. Like, I thought that was hilarious when you told me initially.
Say that. You caught me. You figured it out.
You figured out the joke, the haha.
Now this
I love this
is a
page.
very I boarded this sequence all kinds of ways. You can see one of the alternate versions in the tier 2 patron reward with all of the concept art and Full Stop's original 2017 art. That's all there. But I'm very satisfied with this one where she's just walking forward and slowly decaying. This took forever, but it was worth it. She's all gooey and gross. Then you drop down
So
and you see all these characters. We got Pam Manson, Sam's mom. We got Jack. We got Maddie. We got Jazz. We got Tucker. We got Danny. The girl. We got Frostbite. We got the Dairy King. We got Damon. We got Valerie. We got Quan, Star, Paulina, Dash. Right here is Steven Silver, character designer. I threw him in there. Then Steve Marmel. He was one of the head writers for the first two seasons. He's also, I feel like, was a big contributor to what made Danny Phantom good. Then, of course, here's my skull. I'm just a full-on skull. Here's Ash. He's got a worm
Put a
coming out of
worm
him.
in my eye.
Yep. Here is Hershey. He's a zombie panda. Here's Fro, very decaying. Looks like, some people got hungry for his Fro. Kellen, his thing is like his dome was broken, and he's just a pile of goo.
I love that one so much.
Yep. And then here's Ben in the back. Wearing his outfit from chapter 2 and 3 and 5. I don't know why. I just felt like this outfit was perfect. So another big scene that was drawn.
Oh my god.
So
Dude,
I drew the Bens and Danny just outline in color, no shading, no effects or anything. Then gave it to Ash to work on for a bit, and when he sent it back, I tried to shade the characters to fit into how he did it. But you want to talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on this?
Dude, this took over a week and a half. And oh my god, it was really fun, but this thing got shuffled so many different times, and I kept adding new parts. In all honesty, out of this entire page, I think my favorite bit, at least visually, is with the DNA strands turning into limbs on the top panel. I thought that came out really cool. Oh god, do you have the file of that's without the text and without the environmental shading on it of the big group shot?
Yes. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
It's in the drive if not, because I want people to see all the juicy little details of Deadfoot.
I can open up the actual file.
Yeah.
Let me do that. That's dangerous, though.
Oh.
We're entering uncharted territory. I didn't think I'd be doing this.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Change your window on OBS, hurry.
Yeah, just in case. Let me, don't know if anything important is in there or something. All right, yeah, we're good. So this is the OG file, so I can turn off the words. Let's go ahead and there's this extra glow. What's on top? Oh, all the monsters and stuff. So these are the characters. I can turn them off. And then let me turn off the blurry effects. Hold on. There we go. Gives you a nice little look.
Yeah, so we start off with each of these just kind of ended up turning into like monster fusions, kind of like how I designed the ones for chapter 7, but like each strand became one. So like starting from the left, you've got Hack and Slash Swampfire. Then you've got Jet Ray Accelerate, Slingshot Tendrils that just have teeth for whatever reason. I just wanted to make it scary. You got an Echo that's just straight up dying. You got NRG in the center with the Ghost Tendrils. The reason I did that specifically for the center is because, at least to me, the last chapter I read before I even joined Ink Tank was... It's chapter 5, right? I'm always bad
with Space Battle?
Yes.
Is that your final answer?
Don't give me crap, dude. There's so much to remember in this fandom.
It's chapter 6.
Chapter 6. That was like the last chapter I saw. Yeah, was this the whole shot of NRG absorbing the Ecto, and the fact that Danny kind of has a better idea of how strong Ecto energy is now. I really wanted this to be like a solid image of like a nightmare Ben to him. Is that like Ben being able to handle and output his own power, or like Danny's own power. So I wanted to mimic the energy panel Granted, I took some liberties with the style and shaping a little bit to make it a little bit more like scary looking, but like that energy was able to handle the Ecto stuff, and then Ghost Freak's tendrils just to kind of mimic the fact that Ghost Freak is kind of ghost-esque as well. I wanted those to be center stage in this.
And the DNA was a great idea too, like having it start as DNA and build into these fusions.
It was so fun to do it,
It
dude.
was
Like this
wonderful.
entire page was so fun. Oh gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
plus the other two fusions on the right hand side are God, I'm trying to remember what they were. The snake, the rock one is meant to be Diamond Head, Chroma Stone, and Gravitack. Um, and then the big guy is Wrath, Monkey, and or Wrath, Monkey, Humongousaur, and Forearms. Um, the reason being with those ones at least was I kind of thought since Danny hasn't gotten like a lot of time with Ben and probably doesn't remember all of his aliens via detail. Like at least with the Chromastone Gravitack Diamond Head one, he just kind of remember, oh yeah, he's got this like rock alien that looks like it's made out of rocks and has like crystals on it.
It's a rock.
And his brain just kind of like lumped all those memories of the three different ones together. If that makes sense.
Yup,
I
yup.
just tried to make it look cool. I do plan on drawing the Wrath Monkey one as like a full actual still at some point, just because I really want to. But yeah,
There we
this
go.
this this page was so much work, but so damn worth it.
Absolutely, it's one of my favorite pages. Right here, the Arp swaps one more time. And Danny, this is 14-year-old Danny. This is supposed to be Vlad and Danny from like the show, like the OG Vlad and Danny struggle, because
That's
that's
so
what
good.
that's where it all started, and that's where it really hurts Danny in the memory.
You should have
Uh,
been more like me.
and I love how, so I didn't want to overshade this because I wanted it to still look like, the chapter 8 style, but I'm very satisfied with how this came out. And you can tell it's young Vlad because he doesn't have a mustache. The only difference between Vlad from the show, and Vlad in 5YL, at least like, translating the art style, is current day Vlad has a mustache and past Vlad only has a beard. And you can see that emphasized even more on this page,
Oh, such a
um,
great page.
where you can see Vlad does not have a mustache. This is him in Phantom Planet. This is him in the $1 Million Ghost.
He's so happy.
This was the Infomap. This there was a lot of rewatching. This was actually from the alternate timeline, where Jack got powers. Just a lot of stuff going on. And then you can see Danny is just taking it all in. Like, damn, this old man has tried to ruin my life so many times. He's in here. He's in my house sipping tea like nothing, creeping up on my mom. Like, Vlad's a pretty fucked up character.
He really is.
So yeah,
I love this so much, dude.
he traumatized Danny. Thank you, sir. This is probably my favorite page, just because it's so chaotic, but somehow it all fits. I was very nervous about this page being unable to be read, and I feel like you can figure it out pretty easy. So, a lot of cool, fun things happening. Vlad's chasing Full Stop with some lightning, and he's using his hair as like extra legs. And he does this whole big old lightning blast. Now that it's Vlad's lightning, I can go back to using zigzags and whatnot.
Nice.
And Full Stop just grabs onto it because, of course, he can. And then whips it around, and he tries to grab Vlad using one of his neuro grabbers, and misses because, Vlad, he's too good. Now, Vlad using his hair as like some type of solid needle thing is something I just came up with on the spot. I was like, you know what, that would be pretty neat. So Full Stop, what he's doing right now, is he's also able to like manipulate matter on like the molecular level. Essentially, he doesn't just grab onto objects. He can grab onto the atoms themselves and rearrange them to be what he wants them to be. So that's how he's able to make this soccer ball. He's building it basically on the atomic level. Like maybe not that deep, but like, pretty deep to look like a soccer ball.
Plus, this whole little section I just love of the back and forth about like, yeah, I've missed football in the last 5 years. Do you have Green Bay Packers in your universe? I'm more of a soccer guy and just soccer, but like I love this whole little bit. It's such a nice not full out like comedic relief, but little like tension wind down from the scene that was just happening.
Yeah, it's definitely works on both of those fronts, both to like, give these characters some like, redeeming, humanizing qualities. Not redeeming, but something not plot based. They're still people, and it's a nice contrast winding down from the nightmare sequence. And then you caught him monologuing. So here he grabs onto Vlad. He pulls him down. I love this little shine effect on Full Stop's visor.
The little shing.
Yeah. There's a couple of those throughout this chapter, but I couldn't stop drawing them. So, Vlad can also... Full Stop, he can also change his grip. So he's not holding on super tight so that Vlad's still able to talk. He still wants to know what's going on. Then here comes Big Ben.
Bingo, Bobby!
Yeah, I threw that in there just for Ryan. He says that in the video game episode.
Yeah.
Where they play Doomed. It's just such a great line.
Dude, I looked for so long to figure out what episode it was in because I remember him screaming it at some point. And I was like, I have to find it.
Yep.
We needed the spelling because I know before.
We found the transcript to this episode, and it was spelled this way. Well, it's like Bingo Bubby, not just Bubby. It's like Bubby.
Bubby.
Bingo Bubby.
What's weird is like the actual what it means from what I've found on like researching it online, is like it's actually like a Jewish word for grandmother. So he's like saying bingo grandma for some reason.
Yeah, Technus is Jewish canonically now.
He is.
Yeah. And that's so I love how this
Or he was.
It's kind of diffused a lot by the rushing lines and stuff, but I really like how I drew Technus here too. And this eye.
It does look so cool.
He's coming in for the lightning punch and Full Stop just fucking
just like nah, I'm gonna have to put a full stop on that. Sorry about that, dude.
Yeah. So here's another case of reused assets. This is the Technus face from when Future Fenton is talking to Lula. And this is Vlad from the first page on the temporal zone in this chapter. So, yeah, I reused more pictures. I'm calling myself out.
And another detail you put in that I love so much is that whenever Full Stop is doing multiple uses, his head actually splits into two tendrils.
Yep.
To mimic how many tendrils he's got going.
I forgot about that. Good catch.
It's such a cool little detail that I like a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, of course.
Now, we're getting to the Orion Knight. Twitching, so he slices through the technological organs. I don't know what the inside of this was supposed to look like.
Meatloaf.
But it looks like that. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Slices through it, comes around, catches it. So this was, I conceptualized it as like a fusion between Future Fenton's boomerang and Lula's. We call them her claws, which are the throwing knives. I didn't want to call them like Lula rangs or something. So they're spelled KLAWZ, her claws.
We'll come up with an acronym later.
Yeah, something like that. And catches it. And this is another change that I did because of your beautiful designs is I made Crunch's plates have swirl patterns on them.
Did I do that originally?
You did. You started doing that for the Terradino and Beyond, and I was like, I really like that. He doesn't have this in the in like, I think even chapter 8, like as recent as chapter 8, I didn't do that.
What was it before? Just skin?
It was just smooth. Here, let me find an example.
Why did I make it swirls? I don't even remember now.
It just looks good.
It does.
Um,
I gotta
right here.
give it to myself. Oh, it is just rocks. Why did I think
Yeah.
it was swirls?
Yeah, that's how I did it. And then you drew swirls. I was like, that's good. So that's how I do it now.
Why did I do that though? I don't remember.
How
and I feel
dare
stupid
you?
when- Well, no, because I remember the first. You said the first time I did it was in the Tiradino.
Yeah.
I thought the first time I did it was on the 2 year anniversary poster with like Ben and Danny variants that have Divinity and
Oh,
Vlad on the horizon. I thought that was the
maybe.
first time I did it.
I don't remember.
Dang. All right, cool.
But yeah, so now that the Orion Knight is made up of Future Fenton's tech, it also has Future Fenton's Ecto Converter. So they do have some Ecto Energy weapons now. So the Orion Knight does have a chance at standing up against Big Ben. Here's an Ecto Energy Blast, and you can see Full Stop's letting go of Vlad so that they can get this boom boom going. So Lula speeds Gotro to shoot a beam, and then Crunch thunderclaps it, and they combine their powers to do this mega powerful blast. And
We tried so hard to think of a name for this clap ability.
oh yeah, we were gonna have them like say some type of name for it. I think it was like, God, I don't know.
It was literally just like something like concussion clap or something. I don't know. It was. I like ever since you did the cosmic drill thing, with Ultraviolent, I keep wanting to like throw in move names every now and then just because I think it's cool in comics.
Yeah, I agree. I like move names. I hated figuring out how I was going to do this wind. It ended up being a very simple effect, but I was very nervous about the wind. And look, Future Fenton is much less bulky, much more appealing to draw.
Much easier.
Yeah. So, Future Fenton flies off, and this is actually plays into my earlier statement where villains wouldn't just stop and let the heroes talk. So even though they're having a conversation, they still have to fight back. So Vlad's coming at them. Full Stop is trying to stop Big Ben from eating them.
Mm-hmm.
Flying
They
in.
do the chomp.
Future Fenton now has a ghost tail, by the way. In case you couldn't tell, since the boots are gone.
I also love the expression you give Future Fenton in this panel so much. He's what?
Yeah, because it's the sketchy doodle art style. I'm able to make the helmet emote, but that's something Future Fenton can't do.
It looks so good though.
Thank you. Then here they are fighting, and Ben accepts Lula as his equal. So touching. And Gotro's getting over his fear. Not much to say here. I like how these came out.
Cool hype building page.
Yeah. Big dramatic. Lula says the catchphrase again. Let's run this. You got to say it at least twice for it to be a catchphrase.
Mm-hmm. I love this page so much. This is like a phone wallpaper or even a full poster, dude. I love this page so much.
Thank you. Oh, and
God,
in case I ever need the asset, I drew the Orion Knight and Full Stop separately. So if I turned off Full Stop's layer, you would see Crunch's arm and everything. There's stuff behind there. So I might reuse that asset for something, for like posters and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I could do something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Future Fenton flies up. You can see the ghost tail. Danny's
More
trapped
dots.
in all these dots. Yep. Guess what this was like. Just dot. I did want to show Future Fenton using more ghost powers, because I felt like it was a little unclear if Future Fenton actually had ghost powers or it was just the suit. So this is kind of to show you, like, yeah, there is some ghostly stuff happening there. So the arm turns intangible, phases into the dark matter, grabs Danny, which snaps him out of the trance. But now you see the colors invert and his eyes are red, and he erupts out of the void grossness. Vlad swallowed it, but Danny expelled it. So you can kind of see their different strategies of handling it. Danny's is much more fight or flight, messier, and Vlad's is like, I'm just going to use this to make myself better. And so he does. And you get our first glimpse at Phantom Fury, the Phantom Fury form, which is red.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 pages left. I'm flying right through it. So here we got this page. Future Fenton slams into... I drew this to be some type of metal texture. You can kind of tell by the way I drew the lines, but then I changed the colors to look like the sponge texture a little bit. It kind of doesn't look like either, though, now, but that was the intention. You get a good shot at Big Ben's butt mouth in here, and you can see I gave it teeth.
It's like a
on the
barbed tongue.
Yeah, like geese.
Geese,
Yeah.
the real monsters.
Yeah, you can
An Easter egg,
Oh, yes. What's
For
this
those,
right here?
Okay, for those who are unaware, one of my favorite anime series of all time. I didn't even know where you put this in the chapter, but you said you put it somewhere. This is my first time seeing it. This is meant to be Death Weapon Meister Academy from Soul Eater. It's literally the entire academy got like lifted into the temporal zone.
Yeah, some crazy stuff's happening.
But yeah, like I didn't know where you put this. You were like, yeah, no, I put it in there somewhere. I put the sword in there, but I didn't know where you put either of them. And I was like,
I don't know where I put the sword either. I'll try to find it. But yeah, if you look closely, by the way, you can see that the dark matter, it's still touched Technus, and so it's starting to spread. You know, something might be going on here.
Wow.
Oh wow. And then boom. So this was a bitch to draw.
So many dots, huh?
Yeah, quite a bit of dots. So Danny just flies right through, grabs Vlad, and keeps going.
I love the chibi faces for the Orion Squad.
Yeah, I love Gotro's just a little ball. Is the sword around here?
Is it? There is 2 Easter eggs in this panel I do know of. I don't know if the sword's in here. I don't know where you put it. You said you were putting it somewhere.
I did put it somewhere. I know for sure I put it somewhere. We might have already passed it. For
those who, well, no one knows because we didn't say it. But the sword that we're talking about, I drew a large version of Ein's Meteor from the manga series Wraithmaster. It's my favorite manga series. It's one of my favorite sword designs. And ironically, it's kind of Ben 10-esque because it's a sword that changes into 10 different forms. So I wanted to make it an Easter egg. It's somewhere in here. If you guys find it before us, good on you. The 2 other Easter eggs with this panel, though, because I drew all the mountain stuff for this.
Yes.
The central mountain, the one, the metal looking one in the center that's like being broken in half. If you look at the bottom of the page, there's a small little house there. That is meant to be Kuro's house in the Minecraft server because he's lost in the mountains somewhere and no one, even him, knows where the hell he is.
Yeah, in the server, I just ran for like a long time and then just built a house somewhere.
Yep, he's somewhere in the
this is my
he's
house.
in the temporal zone.
Yeah, and it got obliterated. Thanks,
Yep.
Danny.
He's
and
just
what's
inside
this right here?
going,
Do you have the picture that corresponds with this?
I can grab it and send it to you right now.
All right, actually, yeah, grab it.
2 seconds.
While you're doing that, I actually set something up. I don't remember when I was gonna do this, but I remember I set this up because I thought it would be neat to show people exactly how our blending between our art styles work. So I saved a whole bunch of versions of this page. Where is it? Hold on. Oh no. Where did it go?
I don't know. But here's the thing
never
for
mind.
the other thing.
I guess it's gone forever.
Next Patreon stream. God.
Yeah. All right, never mind. Forget everything I just said.
Um, I did send the other thing to you though. Um, so that big mountain off to the far left.
Oh
I
wait,
kept
hang
trying
on.
to.
I figured it out. I'm sorry.
Never
Um,
mind.
okay, I'll get there. So this is the base page. Um, yeah, that's it. So it just starts
That's
like
the
this.
blending of the art style.
Yeah, you can see this is green. Um, Still not quite a metal texture, but then I throw in the mountains that you do. So this is the drawings that I get. This was kind of pumpkin-y, right? You said?
I didn't mean to make it a pumpkin. I liked the colors, and then it dawned on me. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'm like so subconsciously wanting Halloween already. I made it a pumpkin by accident.
Yes. Um,
Um, yeah, you got that. You got the
yep.
giant
Now you can see the
metal
house
mountain
better.
with your house.
So this right here, since you can see it a lot better, now we'll throw in your Easter egg. So what is that
Mhm.
mountain like?
That mountain is a reference to Fusion Lab. Actually, the original version, Fusion Friday. One of my favorite fusions I ever did was Lodestar and Gravitac that I called Flux. And I essentially just made an entire mountain out of him.
Yep.
I was like, dang it, I have a specific thing that I want to say, but I feel like it will spoil something in the future possibly, so I'm not going to. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
We'll wait.
Just know that that mountain is based off of this fusion named Flux. I really wanted to I don't even know. It was just you were like it needs to be a cool looking texture and I couldn't think of something that wasn't just rock or metal, so I mixed them together and used that as reference.
Yep, yep.
So
So
OG Fusion Friday in there.
we plug those in, and then I do a little bit of texturing just to help it look consistent with the art style. So you'll see it's really not too much, just a little extra detail, um, just some comparison.
Yeah.
Then after that, I do what do I do? What's this page?
I don't know.
Oh, the
Oh, the environmental lighting.
yeah, the environmental lighting. So gradients, the redness of Danny going through, breaking all that. Then we got what's this? Oh, smoke. Gotta have that smoke because he's breaking all that stuff. Then we got additional effects and more debris. So I just went in there, added a little bit more chaos.
More dots.
Yeah, more dots.
I didn't put
Um,
enough dots for this man.
I put a blur effect on the rocks shooting out. Just all that good stuff. And then it ends officially with the final version. Once I add in all the extra background stuff. There we go. Isn't that
That's how the art
beautiful?
styles blend.
Yes, sir. We did it. We did it together.
We did.
All right. So lastly, 2 pages left. We have boom. Danny crashes down. Now you did do the backgrounds for this too, right? And I did all the smoke and clouds and dots. But you did inside of that crater.
Yes, I did the crater, the rocks flying up, which I'm not actually used to doing things like being shot out or in motion. So this was kind of a test to see if I could do stuff like that. I think it turned out decently. Um, and then for the bottom panel, I was jokingly trying to like just take the inside crater bit from the top panel and stretch it so I can match the way I did the rocks and then just draw it more detailed. But it ended up actually just being detailed enough that we just stretched it and used it again.
Yeah, so for down here.
It's the exact same drawing for the top panel. We just zoomed into it a lot.
What material would you say this is? So this is still the
It's
lodestone,
like, yeah, look, that's a perfect way of saying it actually. I like metallic rock.
metallic rock.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
My favorite band
And then the
genre
last um right
page.
here, the last page, you did an inner crater for.
Yes, that I just tried to make it look like the inside of a crater. The rocks that flew up from the last panel are now just floating freely in the temporal zone.
Yes,
But yeah,
sir.
my contribution to that.
Yep. Well, that's about it.
Mm.
You got Rage Danny right here. He went through a lot of different looks, pretty much. Like we
God,
said, we did have a monster version a couple of times, but I just wanted to make sure his face was still readable, which was a big part of keeping Danny human and all of that. But we took elements from all of it, and this page is actually supposed to mirror the nightmare page of Vlad right here. You can kind of see the parallels, except like while I did write the fonts for Vlad, this actually is just a font that I used. But yeah, thank you for tuning into our Patreon page by page stream. If you have any more questions, please just let me know. And you're free to tell all these people some of this neat stuff if you'd like. And you're free to rewatch this stream after it's been up. So thank you very much. Any closing thoughts, Ash?
I have a headache a little bit, but other than that, this chapter was super fun to work with or work on. Um, and it was my first time like doing full-time 5YL ink tank, and I would love to be able to do it again at some point. So continue to support us on Patreon, please.
Yes, please. All right. And as always, keep it fizzy.